This is a 31 Pearls production, all rights reserved.
Ethiopian Enoch, Chapter 56. I now begin to utter the third parable, concerning the saints and the elect. Blessed are you, O saints and elect, for glorious is your lot. The saints shall exist in the light of the sun, and the elect in the light of everlasting life, the days of whose life shall never terminate, nor shall the days of the saints be numbered, who seek for light, and obtain righteousness with the Lord of spirits. Peace be to the saints with the Lord of the world. Henceforward shall the saints be told to seek in heaven the secrets of righteousness, the portion of faith. For like the sun has it arisen upon the earth, while darkness has passed away. There shall be light interminable, nor shall they enter upon the enumeration of time. For darkness shall be previously destroyed, and light shall increase before the Lord of spirits. Before the Lord of spirits shall the light of uprightness increase forever. Enoch, Chapter 57. In those days my eyes beheld the secrets of the lightnings, and the splendors, and the judgment belonging to them. They lighten for a blessing and for a curse, according to the will of the Lord of spirits. And there I saw the secrets of the thunder, when it rattles above in heaven, and its sound is heard. The habitations also of the earth were shown to me. The sound of the thunder is for peace and for blessing, as well as for a curse, according to the word of the Lord of spirits. Afterwards every secret of the splendors and of the lightnings was seen by me. For blessing and for fertility they lighten. Enoch chapter 58. In the 500th year, and in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month of the lifetime of Enoch, in that parable, I saw that the heaven of heavens shook, that it shook violently, and that the powers of the Most High, and the angels, thousands and thousands, and myriads of myriads, were agitated with great agitation. And when I looked, the Ancient of Days was sitting on the throne of his glory, while the angels and saints were standing around him. A great trembling came upon me, and terror seized me. My loins were bowed down and loosened. My reins were dissolved, and I fell upon my face. The holy Michael, another holy angel, one of the holy ones, was sent, who raised me up. And when he raised me, my spirit returned, for I was incapable of enduring this vision of violence, its agitation, and the concussion of heaven. Then holy Michael said to me, "Why are you disturbed at this vision? Hitherto has existed the day of mercy, and he has been merciful and long-suffering towards all who dwell upon the earth. But when the time shall come, then shall the power, the punishment, and the judgment take place, which the Lord of spirits has prepared for those who prostrate themselves to the judgment of righteousness, for those who abjure that judgment, and for those who take his name in vain. That day has been prepared for the elect, as a day of covenant, and for sinners, as a day of inquisition. In that day shall be distributed for food 2 monsters, a female monster, whose name is Leviathan, dwelling in the depths of the sea, above the springs of waters, and a male monster, whose name is Behemoth, which possesses, moving on his breast, the invisible wilderness. His name was Dendion, in the east of the garden, where the elect and the righteous will dwell, where he received it from my ancestor who was man, from Adam, the first of men, whom the Lord of spirits made. Then I asked of another angel to show me the power of those monsters, how they became separated on the same day, one being in the depth of the sea, and one in the dry desert. And he said, You, son of man, are here desirous of understanding secret things. And the angel of peace, who was with me, said, These two monsters are by the power of God prepared to become food, that the punishment of God may not be in vain. Then shall children be slain with their mothers, and sons with their fathers. And when the punishment of the Lord of spirits shall continue, upon them it shall continue, that the punishment of the Lord of spirits may not take place in vain. After that, judgment shall exist, with mercy and long-suffering. Enoch chapter 59. Then another angel who proceeded with me spoke to me, and showed me the first and last secrets in heaven above, and in the depths of the earth, in the extremities of heaven, and in the foundations of it, and in the receptacles of the winds. He showed me how their spirits were divided, how they were balanced, and how both the springs and the winds were numbered, according to the force of their spirit. He showed me the power of the moon's light, that its power is a just one, as well as the divisions of the stars, according to their respective names, that every division is divided, that the lightning flashes, that its troops immediately obey, and that a cessation takes place during thunder in continuance of its sound. Nor are the thunder and the lightning separated, neither do both of them move with one spirit, yet they are not separated. For when the lightning lightens, the thunder sounds, and the spirit at a proper period pauses, making an equal division between them. For the receptacle upon which their periods depend is loose as sand. Each of them at a proper season is restrained with a bridle, and turned by the power of the Spirit, which thus propels them according to the spacious extent of the earth. The spirit likewise of the sea is potent and strong, and as a strong power causes it to ebb, so it is driven forwards and scattered against the mountains of the earth. The spirit of the frost has its angel. In the spirit of hail there is a good angel. The spirit of snow ceases in its strength, and a solitary spirit is in it, which ascends from it like vapor, and is called refrigeration. The spirit also of mist dwells with them in their receptacle, but it has a receptacle to itself, for its progress is in splendor, in light and in darkness, in winter and in summer. Its receptacle is bright, and an angel is in it. The spirit of dew has its abode in the extremities of heaven, in connection with the receptacle of rain, and its progress is in winter and in summer. The cloud produced by it and the cloud of the mist become united. One gives to the other. And when the spirit of rain is in motion from its receptacle, angels come, and opening its receptacle, bring it forth. When likewise it is sprinkled over all the earth, it forms a union with every kind of water on the ground, for the waters remain on the ground, because they afford nourishment to the earth from the Most High, who is in heaven. Upon this account, therefore, there is a regulation in the quantity of rain which the angels receive. These things I saw, all of them, even paradise. Enoch chapter 60. In those days I beheld long ropes given to those angels, who took to their wings and fled, advancing towards the north. And I inquired of the angels, saying, Wherefore have they taken those long ropes, and gone forth? He said, They are gone forth to measure. The angel who proceeded with me said, These are the measures of the righteous, and cords shall the righteous bring, that they may trust in the name of the Lord of spirits, forever and ever. The elect shall begin to dwell with the elect. And these are the measures which shall be given to faith, and which shall strengthen the words of righteousness. These measures shall reveal all the secrets in the depth of the earth. And it shall be that those who have been destroyed in the desert, and who have been devoured by the fish of the sea and by wild beasts, shall return, and trust in the day of the elect one. For none shall perish in the presence of the Lord of spirits, nor shall any be capable of perishing. Then they received the commandment, all who are in the heavens above, to whom a combined power, voice, and splendor like fire were given. And first, with their voice, they blessed him, they exalted him, they glorified him with wisdom, and ascribed to him wisdom with the word, and with the breath of life. Then the Lord of spirits, seated upon the throne of his glory, the elect one, who shall judge all the works of the holy in heaven above, and in a balance shall he weigh their actions. And when he shall lift up his countenance to judge their secret ways in the word of the name of the Lord of spirits, and their progress in the path of the righteous judgment of God Most High, they shall all speak with united voice, and bless, glorify, exalt, and praise in the name of the Lord of spirits. He shall call to every power of the heavens, to all the holy above, and to the power of God, the cherubim, the seraphim, and Ophanim, all the angels of power, and all the angels of the Lord's, namely, the elect one, and of the other power, who was upon the earth over the water on that day, shall raise their united voice, shall bless, glorify, praise, and exalt with the spirit of faith, with the spirit of wisdom and patience, with the spirit of mercy, with the spirit of judgment and peace, and with the spirit of benevolence. All shall say with united voice, Blessed is he. And the name of the Lord of spirits shall be blessed forever and forever. All who sleep not shall bless it in heaven above. All the holy in heaven shall bless it. All the elect who dwell in the garden of life, and every spirit of light who is capable of blessing, glorifying, exalting, and praising your holy name. And every mortal man, more than the powers of heaven, shall glorify and bless your name forever and ever. For great is the mercy of the Lord of spirits, long-suffering is he, and all his works, all his power, great as are the things which he has done. He has revealed to the saints and to the elect, in the name of the Lord of spirits. Enoch Chapter 61. Thus the Lord commanded the kings, the princes, the exalted, and those who dwell on earth, saying, Open your eyes, and lift up your horns, if you are capable of comprehending the elect one. The Lord of spirits sat upon the throne of his glory, and the spirit of righteousness was poured out over him. The word of his mouth shall destroy all the sinners and all the ungodly. who shall perish at his presence. In that day shall all the kings, the princes, the exalted, and those who possess the earth, stand up, behold, and perceive that he is sitting on the throne of his glory, that before him the saints shall be judged in righteousness, and that nothing which shall be spoken before him shall be spoken in vain. Trouble shall come upon them as upon a woman in travail, whose labor is severe when her child comes to the mouth of the womb, and she finds it difficult to bring forth. One portion of them shall look upon another, they shall be astonished, and shall humble their countenance. And trouble shall seize them when they behold this Son of Woman sitting upon the throne of his glory. Then shall the kings, the princes, and all who possess the earth glorify him who has dominion over all things, him who was concealed. For from the beginning the Son of Man existed in secret, whom the Most High preserved in the presence of his power, and revealed to the elect. He shall sow the congregation of the saints and of the elect, and all the elect shall stand before him in that day. All the kings, the princes, the exalted, and those who rule over all the earth, shall fall down on their faces before him, and shall worship him. They shall fix their hopes on this Son of Man, shall pray to him, and petition him for mercy. Then shall the Lord of spirits hasten to expel them from his presence. Their faces shall be full of confusion, and their faces shall darkness cover. The angel shall take them to punishment, that vengeance may be inflicted on those who have oppressed his children and his elect. And they shall be an example to the saints and to his elect. Through them shall these be made joyful, for the anger of the Lord of spirits shall rest upon them. Then the sword of the Lord of spirits shall be drunk with their blood, but the saints and elect shall be safe in that day. Nor the face of the sinners and the ungodly shall they thenceforwards behold. The Lord of spirits shall remain over them. And with the Son of Man shall they dwell, eat, lie down, and rise up, forever and ever. The saints and the elect have arisen from the earth, have left off to depress their countenances, and have been clothed with the garment of life. That garment of life is with the Lord of spirits, in whose presence your garment shall not wax old, nor shall your glory diminish. Enoch chapter 62. In those days the kings who possess the earth shall be punished by the angels of his wrath, wheresoever they shall be delivered up, that he may give rest for a short period, and that they may fall down and worship before the Lord of spirits, confessing their sins before him. They shall bless and glorify the Lord of spirits, saying, Blessed is the Lord of spirits, the Lord of kings, the Lord of princes, the Lord of the rich, the Lord of glory, and the Lord of wisdom. He shall enlighten every secret thing. Your power is from generation to generation, and your glory forever and ever. Deep are all your secrets, and numberless, and your righteousness cannot be calculated. Now we know that we should glorify and bless the Lord of kings, him who is king over all things. They shall also say, Who has granted us rest to glorify, laud, and bless, and confess in the presence of his glory? And now, small is the rest we desire, but we do not find it. We reject, and we do not possess it. Light has passed away from before us, and darkness has covered our thrones forever. For we have not confessed before him. We have not glorified, the name of the Lord of Kings. We have not glorified the Lord in all his works, but we have trusted in the scepter of our dominion and of our glory. In the day of our suffering and of our trouble, he will not save us, neither shall we find rest. We confess that our Lord is faithful in all his works, in all his judgments, and in his righteousness. In his judgments he pays no respect to persons, and we must depart from his presence on account of our evil deeds. All our sins are truly without number. Then shall they say to themselves, our souls are satiated with the instruments of crime, but that prevents us not from descending to the flaming womb of hell. Afterwards, their countenances shall be filled with darkness and confusion before the Son of Man, from whose presence they shall be expelled, and before whom the sword shall remain to expel them. Thus saith the Lord of spirits, this is the decree and the judgment against the princes, the kings, the exalted, and those who possess the earth, in the presence of the Lord of spirits. Enoch chapter 63. I saw also other countenances in that secret place. I heard the voice of an angel saying, these are the angels who have descended from heaven to earth, and have revealed secrets to the sons of men, and have seduced the sons of men to the commission of sin. Enoch chapter 64. In those days Noah saw that the earth became inclined, and that destruction approached. Then he lifted up his feet, and went to the ends of the earth, to the dwelling of his great-grandfather Enoch. And Noah cried with a bitter voice, hear me, hear me, hear me, 3 times. And he said, tell me what is transacting upon the earth, for the earth labors and is violently shaken. Surely I shall perish with it. After this, there was a great perturbation on earth, and a voice was heard from heaven. I fell down on my face, when my great-grandfather Enoch came and stood by me. He said to me, why have you cried out to me with a bitter cry and lamentation? A commandment has gone forth from the Lord against those who dwell on earth, that they may be destroyed. For they know every secret of the angels, every oppressive and secret power of the devils, and every power of those who commit sorcery, as well as of those who make molten images in the whole earth. They know how silver is produced from the dust of the earth, and how on earth the metallic drop exists. For lead and tin are not produced from earth, as the primary fountain of their production. There is an angel standing upon it, and that angel struggles to prevail. Afterwards my great-grandfather Enoch seized me with his hand, raising me up and saying to me, go, for I have asked the Lord of spirits respecting this perturbation of the earth, who replied, on account of their impiety have their innumerable judgments been consummated before me. Respecting the moons have they inquired, and they have known that the earth will perish with those who dwell upon it, and that to these there will be no place of refuge forever. They have discovered secrets, and they are those who have been judged. But not you, my son. The Lord of spirits knows that you are pure and good, free from the reproach of discovering secrets. He, the Holy One, will establish your name in the midst of the saints, and will preserve you from those who dwell upon the earth. He will establish your seed in righteousness, with dominion and great glory. And from your seed shall spring forth righteousness, and holy men, without number forever. Enoch chapter 65. After this he showed me the angels of punishment, who were prepared to come, and to open all the mighty waters under the earth, that they may be for judgment, and for the destruction of all those who remain and dwell upon the earth. And the Lord of spirits commanded the angels who went forth not to take up the men and preserve them, for those angels presiding over all the mighty waters. Then I went out from the presence of Enoch. Enoch chapter 66. In those days the word of God came to me and said, Noah, behold, your lot has ascended up to me, a lot void of crime, a lot beloved and upright. Now then, shall the angels labor at the trees, but when they proceed to this, I will put my hand upon it and preserve it. The seed of life shall arise from it, and a change shall take place, that the dry land shall not be left empty. I will establish your seed before me forever and ever, and the seed of those who dwell with you on the surface of the earth. It shall be blessed and multiplied in the presence of the earth in the name of the Lord. And they shall confine those angels who disclosed impiety. In that burning valley it is that they shall be confined, which at first my great-grandfather Enoch showed me in the west, where there were mountains of gold and silver, of iron, of fluid metal, and of tin. I beheld that valley in which there was great perturbation, and where the waters were troubled. And when all this was effected, from the fluid mass of fire and the perturbation which prevailed in that place, there arose a strong smell of sulphur, which became mixed with the waters, and the valley of the angels, who had been guilty of seduction, burned underneath its soil. Through that valley also rivers of fire were flowing, to which those angels shall be condemned, who seduced the inhabitants of the earth. And in those days shall these waters be to kings, to princes, to the exalted, and to the inhabitants of the earth, for the healing of the soul and body, and for the judgment of the spirit. Their spirits shall be full of revelry, that they may be judged in their bodies, because they have denied the Lord of spirits. And although they perceive their condemnation day by day, they believe not in his name. And as the inflammation of their bodies shall be great, so shall their spirits undergo a change forever. For no word which is uttered before the Lord of spirits shall be in vain. Judgment has come upon them, because they trusted in their carnal revelry, and denied the Lord of spirits. In those days shall the waters of that valley be changed, for when the angels shall be judged, then shall the heat of those springs of water experience an alteration. And when the angels shall ascend, the water of the springs shall again undergo a change, and be frozen. Then I heard holy Michael answering and saying, This judgment, with which the angels shall be judged, shall bear testimony against the kings, the princes, and those who possess the earth. For these waters of judgment shall be for their healing, and for the death of their bodies. But they shall not perceive and believe that the waters will be changed, and become a fire, which shall blaze forever. Enoch chapter 67. After this he gave me the characteristical marks of all the secret things in the book of my great-grandfather Enoch, and in the parables which had been given to him, inserting them for me among the words of the Book of Parables. At that time, holy Michael answered and said to Raphael, "The power of the Spirit hurries me away and impels me on." The severity of the judgment, of the secret judgment of the angels, who is capable of beholding? The endurance of that severe judgment which has taken place and been made permanent, without being melted at the sight of it. Again, holy Michael answered and said to holy Raphael, "Who is there whose heart is not softened by it, and whose reins are not troubled at this thing?" Judgment has gone forth against them by those who have thus dragged them away, and that was when they stood in the presence of the Lord of Spirits. In like manner also holy Rachael said to Raphael, "They shall not be before the eye of the Lord, since the Lord of Spirits has been offended with them. For like lords they have conducted themselves. Therefore will he bring upon them a secret judgment forever and ever. For neither shall angel nor man receive a portion of it, but they alone shall receive their own judgment forever and ever." Enoch chapter 68. After this judgment they shall be astonished and irritated, for it shall be exhibited to the inhabitants of the earth. Behold the names of those angels. These are their names. The first of them is Samyazah, the second Arstikapha, the third Armen, the fourth Kakabael, the fifth Terel, the sixth Rumiel, the seventh Daniel, the eighth Kael, the ninth Barakel, the 10th Azazel, the 11th Armers, the 12th Batariel, the 13th Basasael, the 14th Ananel, the 15th Turiel, the 16th Semapisiel, the 17th Yatarel, the 18th Tomael, the 19th Tarel, the 20th Romel, the 21st Azazel. These are the chiefs of their angels, and the names of the leaders of their hundreds, and the leaders of their 50s, and the leaders of their 10s. The name of the first is Yeh-kun. He it was who seduced all the sons of the holy angels, and causing them to descend on earth, led astray the offspring of men. The name of the second is Jezebel, who pointed out evil counsel to the sons of the holy angels, and induced them to corrupt their bodies by generating mankind. The name of the third is Gadrel. He discovered every stroke of death to the children of men. He seduced Eve, and discovered to the children of men the instruments of death, the coat of mail, the shield, and the sword for slaughter, every instrument of death to the children of men. From his hand were these things derived to them who dwell upon earth from that period forever. The name of the fourth is Penemu. He discovered to the children of men bitterness and sweetness, and pointed out to them every secret of their wisdom. He taught men to understand writing and the use of ink and paper. Therefore numerous have been those who have gone astray from every period of the world, even to this day. For men were not born for this, thus with pen and with ink to confirm their faith, since they were not created except that, like the angels, they might remain righteous and pure, nor would death, which destroys everything, have affected them. But by this their knowledge they perish, and by this also its power consumes them. The name of the fifth is Kashyade. He discovered to the children of men every wicked stroke of spirits and of demons, the stroke of the embryo in the womb, to diminish it, the stroke of the Spirit by the bite of the serpent, and the stroke which is given in the midday by the offspring of the serpent, the name of which is Tabbaet. This is the number of Casbal, the principal part of the oath, which the Most High, dwelling in glory, revealed to the holy ones. Its name is Becca. He spoke to holy Michael to discover to them the sacred name, that they might understand that secret name, and thus remember the oath, and that those who pointed out every secret thing to the children of men might tremble at that name and oath. This is the power of that oath, for powerful it is and strong. And he established this oath of Aceh by the instrumentality of the holy Michael. These are the secrets of this oath, and by it were they confirmed. Heaven was suspended by it before the world was made, forever. By it the earth has been founded upon the flood, while from the concealed parts of the hills the agitated waters proceed forth from the creation to the end of the world. By this oath the sea has been formed, and the foundation of it. During the period of its fury he established the sand against it, which continues unchanged forever. And by this oath the abyss has been made strong, nor is it removable from its station forever and ever. By this oath the sun and moon complete their progress, never swerving from the command given to them forever and ever. By this oath the stars complete their progress, and when their names are called, they return and answer forever and ever. Thus in the heavens take place the blowing of the winds. All of them have breathings, and effect a complete combination of breathings. There the treasures of thunder are kept, and the splendor of the lightning. There are kept the treasures of hail and of frost, the treasures of snow, the treasures of rain and of dew. All these confess and laud before the Lord of spirits. They glorify with all their power of praise, and he sustains them in all that act of thanksgiving, while they laud, glorify, and exalt the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. And with them he establishes this oath, by which they and their paths are preserved, nor does their progress perish. Great was their joy. They blessed, glorified, and exalted, because the name of the Son of Man was revealed to them. He sat upon the throne of his glory, and the principal part of the judgment was assigned to him, the Son of Man. Sinners shall disappear and perish from the face of the earth, while those who seduced them shall be bound with chains forever. According to the ranks of their corruption shall they be imprisoned, and all their work shall disappear from the face of the earth, nor thenceforward shall there be any to corrupt. For the Son of Man has been seen, sitting on the throne of his glory. Everything wicked shall disappear, and depart from before his face, and the word of the Son of Man shall become powerful in the presence of the Lord of spirits. This is the third parable of Enoch. Enoch chapter 69. After this, the name of the Son of Man, living with the Lord of spirits, was exalted by the inhabitants of the earth. It was exalted in the chariots of the Spirit, and the name went forth in the midst of them. From that time I was not drawn into the midst of them, but he seated me between two spirits, between the north and the west, where the angels received their ropes, to measure out a place for the elect and the righteous. There I beheld the fathers of the first men and the saints, who dwell in that place forever. Enoch chapter 70. Afterwards my spirit was concealed. Ascending into the heavens, I beheld the sons of the holy angels treading on flaming fire, whose garments and robes were white, and whose countenances were transparent as crystal. I saw 2 rivers of fire glittering like a hyacinth. Then I fell on my face before the Lord of spirits, and Michael, one of the archangels, took me by my right hand, raised me up, and brought me out to where was every secret of mercy and secret of righteousness. He showed me all the hidden things within the extremities of heaven, all the receptacles of the stars, and the splendors of all, from whence they went forth before the face of the Holy. And he concealed the spirit of Enoch in the heaven of heavens. There I beheld, in the midst of that light, a building raised with stones of ice, and in the midst of these stone vibrations of living fire, my spirit saw around the circle of this flaming habitation, on one of its extremities, that there were rivers full of living fire which encompassed it. Then the seraphim, the cherubim, and the Ophanim surrounded it. These are those who never sleep, but watch the throne of his glory. And I beheld angels innumerable, thousands of thousands, and myriads, who surrounded that habitation. Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, Phanuel, and the holy angels who were in the heavens above went in and out of it. Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel went out of that habitation, and the holy angels innumerable. With them was the Ancient of Days, whose head was white as wool and pure, and his robe was indescribable. Then I fell upon my face, while all my flesh was dissolved, and my spirit became changed. I cried out with a loud voice, with a powerful spirit, blessing, glorifying, and exalting. And those blessings which proceeded from my mouth became acceptable in the presence of the Ancient of Days. The Ancient of Days came with Michael and Gabriel, Raphael and Phanuel, with thousands of thousands and myriads, which could not be numbered. Then that angel came to me, and with his voice saluted me, saying, You are the Son of Man, who art born for righteousness, and righteousness has rested upon you. The righteousness of the Ancient of Days shall not forsake you. He said, On you shall he confer peace in the name of the existing world. For from thence has peace gone forth since the world was created, and thus shall it happen to you forever and ever. All who shall exist, and who shall walk in your path of righteousness, shall not forsake you forever. With you shall be their habitations, with you their lot. Nor from you shall they be separated forever and ever. And thus shall length of days be with the Son of Man. Peace shall be to the righteous, and the path of integrity shall the righteous pursue, in the name of the Lord of spirits, forever and ever.